All right, man. Detroit Pistons had a interesting week this week, to say the least.
We could say interesting. That's what we could say that.
We had three very close games. One of those games in which we controlled the entire game, but ended up giving up our lead. We ended up playing Charlotte to start the week. Then we played Atlanta, and then we played Houston. We ended up going 1-2 against those teams. You want to dive into the Charlotte game first?
Yeah, yeah. So to start, obviously everybody knows how that game ended. With Brandon Miller hitting that bullshit putback at the end of the game. Broke our hearts for sure. And this was a game that we could have, would have, and should have won. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like we definitely should have won this game.
Yeah, we 100% should have won this game. This was one of those games on the schedule that's put there for you to win as an NBA team, but we just couldn't get the job done. We played to the level of Charlotte, played to the level of our competition, and it was just not a good game. I mean, Cade had 20, 10, and 10,
Yeah.
which was nice, but
The first,
didn't
so Cade Cunningham got a triple double every game this week. So that was the first of the three stretch that he's had. Or no,
he,
he didn't get it.
he
KD
didn't
hurt.
he didn't get it against Houston, but
That's
yeah,
true. Yeah.
unfortunately, it just wasn't a good game to be a Pistons fan, honestly. Just from start to
No,
finish, just a lot of little things on both ends of the court. And like I said before, we were playing the level of competition. I mean, LaMelo Ball had an amazing game, 25 points, eight
LaMelo.
assists, six rebounds, and he hit some timely baskets at the end of the game to kind of
He did.
keep Charlotte in it. And then eventually they ended up winning off that game winner by Brandon Miller. But
Yeah, we had nothing for Melo that night. I mean, he was doing whatever he wanted to.
yeah, he for sure was. But I mean, it is what it is. It was one of those games we should have won, but can't get it back. And
I feel like
then
people. Sorry to
you
cut you
could,
off, but I feel like people like LaMelo is so much better than I think people give him credit for. Like that was my biggest takeaway from this game. And, maybe I should have known this already, but LaMelo Ball he's one of the best players in the NBA when he's on. Like he's so big, he's so quick, he can stop on a dime, he can shoot the lights out. Like that dude is so good.
yeah, LaMelo's the truth, man. I think a big part of, what you're saying is because he was injured, and I think people just forgot how good of a basketball player he was. And it's good to see him back because, like you said, he is very, very talented, one of the best when he plays. Very
Absolutely.
unique. But yeah, let's get into this Atlanta game. Pistons ended up beating the Hawks 122 to 121. This was a game that we led at one point by what, 20?
Yep.
And we had what was the first quarter? First quarter, I think we dropped, I want to say 37 or 40.
Yeah, so the first quarter was 40 to 23. And
Yeah, like
then
that's a heck of a start to a game, bro.
and then we lost the second, third, and fourth quarter.
And we still found a way to win the game, which is crazy. But
Absolutely.
it's another situation that we shouldn't have found ourselves in, but kind of took our foot off the gas. Cade had another good game, 22 points, 13 assists, 11 rebounds. Michael or Malik Beasley finished with 22 points, and so did Tobias. So our vets definitely helped out that game. But yeah, it's just another one of those instances where we kind of started playing to the level of our competition and let our lead slip, and we almost gave this
Yeah,
one away if it wasn't for Cade Cunningham's heroics at the end of the game. His
absolutely.
game-winning left hook over two defenders, and then that
Such
that
a
bl
tough shot.
yeah, and then he had that block on the other end to kind of seal the deal.
For
It
real.
was
But it was well timed though. Like, we're
mhm.
1-2 this week. There's definitely some things that we need to fix. But Cade showed everybody right after that Hornets game, because there are a lot of people tweeting after the Hornets game about how Cade needs to start winning games on his own. And, whether you agree or disagree with that, I don't necessarily think that that's true. I think Cade's a dog. But
Hmm.
right after all those tweets start coming in, he makes plays on both ends of the floor, which is, not definitely not something that we would have expected, I think, previous to this year. But JB Bickerstaff has came in. He said, I want to get Cade Cunningham as one of the best two-way players in the league. And he is nowhere close to that. But I will say the defense by Cade, especially in these last three games, has looked pretty solid. Even going back to the
Hmm.
Lakers game where they dominated the Lakers at home, like he did a good job guarding LeBron, and he's done a good job on just about all of his assignments so far. I want to say I saw a stat where the people are, I don't remember the exact field goal percentage against Cade Cunningham when he's guarding you, but I know it was not very good at all.
Yeah. He's been holding his own. Him and Ivy have both looked pretty good on defense. The effort's there.
For
Um,
sure. For sure.
it doesn't always translate to stops, but it's coming along slowly but
Hmm.
surely, and that's all we can ask for right now is just progress with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then let's transition into the Houston game, which oh, that was a tough one, man. Lost to the Rockets 101 to 99. Cade again, 26 points. Almost had a triple double, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. That was one that we could have won, but just some bonehead stuff down the stretch there and kind of let the Rockets take that one from us at home too.
Absolutely. That was a game we should have won. We
Hmm.
were we are better than the Houston Rockets.
Are we
And
though?
I think we are. When we're playing well, we are.
I want to believe it, but I don't know, man. Houston's tough.
Houston's tough, but like imagine if we just cut out some of those dumb mistakes at the end of the game. Like we win that game. Cade saves the night again or tries to again with a huge block, and just horrible execution at the end of the game. Tobias Harris like I'm sorry, you cannot miss that free throw. You can't.
Yeah, that
Like
was a tough free throw to miss.
that is a free throw we have to have. And we ended up getting the ball back twice off of a purposely missed free throw, and we couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that's attempted so much nowadays, and it rarely works. At least I rarely see it work, and we got two
Mm-hmm.
chances at it, but we
Got it
just
twice.
we just couldn't capitalize on it. See, I'm the type of guy who wants to play the foul game. I say just make your free throws and play the foul game because nobody can like people aren't good at free throws. They just aren't. Like you have your
Mm-hmm.
good free throw shooters, but there's a lot of guys, especially in the league, that just can't shoot free throws. So
Well, clearly.
play the foul game.
Yep.
Good chance they're gonna miss one because that's a lot of pressure. Like, you know what I mean? But that's
Mm-hmm.
just me. I digress. But yeah, a lot of bonehead mistakes down the stretch. I hate to pick on him because I love watching him play, but it wouldn't be fair if I didn't pick on him. Jaden Ivey had three straight possessions within I think the last 2 minutes where he just kind of took the ball and did his own thing early into the shot clock, and they all led to transition plays for Houston on the other end.
And just not like, and Ivy's played so well this year, so it was really, it was kind of unfortunate to see, but just not ready for them. Like, I'm not saying he's not ready for the moment, but tonight or today, he wasn't. Like, when we needed big plays, it just seemed like he was like, all right, I'm going to go get the ball, and then I'm going to figure out what the hell I'm going to do.
Mhm.
There was no, like, at the end, it's such a tough thing to kind of judge because Cade and Ivy are both going for that rebound at the very end when Tobias, purposefully misses his free throw. And you don't want to harp on Ivy for the hustle, but at the same time, it's like you got to communicate, like, hey, I'm flying in. Something has to. I just did not love the way that, because Cade had that rebound. Cade had it, but Ivy flew in trying to be the hero again on the Cade missed free throw. I don't know what was going through his head when he threw that corner shot up. There was still time on the clock. Kick that ball out. That's such a tough look. And there was a little bit of time on the clock for us to get something done. And I didn't really love either that at the end of the game tonight, like Cade never had the ball in his hands for the last, what was it, like 4 or 5 possessions?
Yeah, and that just can't happen.
Nope, it
It
can't.
can't happen.
Nope.
But I mean, these are things there you got to learn as a young team. Got to
Absolutely.
go through these
Absolutely.
things. It's a tough process to go through, especially against another young team. But Houston is they're more ready, if that makes sense, than us to win these games, and that's why they did just that. I
Absolutely.
mean, Sengun had a phenomenal game. We struggled with him all night. He finished with 27 and 10.
Yep.
It's that's a tough recipe
And he's
to
a
go
he's a hell of
against.
a player too. I mean, he's one of the best big men in the league. So,
Mhm.
you want it to happen, but at the same time, and I believe that I believe we held like Jalen Green didn't really have a great game. He had that
Not
one dunk, but
we
other than that,
didn't need
I
to
mean
bring
he
that up, but
but even like that, like whatever, like that's fine.
nah, because let's be real. If roles were reversed, we'd be talking choppy.
But they're not, so yeah, Clarence can have his cute little dunk.
But yeah,
Um,
he shot 6 for 17 tonight. It wasn't a
yeah,
good shooting night for him. It honestly wasn't a good shooting night for really any of them except for Sengun and Tari Eason, who had a horrible start to the game, missed that point blank layup, and then had this line drive doink straight at the basket on the baseline in the first quarter. And that's why I sent you that text like Tari Eason, like what? But nah, he finished strong that game, so I can't even go
oh,
at him, man. He did his
yep.
thing.
Darius, and he made a few good plays or big plays down the stretch
Hmm.
that really helped them get the win. Bright spot. Malik Beasley seems like he's figuring. Excuse me. Malik Beasley seems like he's kind of figuring it out a little bit more. How to, I love the leadership that he's shown, like hopping on social media, talking to the fans. The
Hmm.
video came out of him giving Cade the game ball against Atlanta. Seems like he's a really good vet, and he hit some big shots tonight. And shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. as well, because he's been hitting some really big shots for us. He's been
Absolutely.
I've been very pleasantly surprised with Tim Hardaway Jr. to start the season because I thought that Malik Beasley was going to be more of the rock and Hardaway would be a little bit more of a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get from him, but it's kind of been the opposite to start the season. I still think moving forward, I think that Beasley is a little bit more of a consistent shooter than Hardaway Jr. is. And I know there's
Hmm.
probably going to be some stretches where Hardaway's not hitting and it gets a little bit frustrating, but that's just, that's par for the course when you have a guy, that can do what he does. But I've really liked what I'm seeing from both of them. Paul Reed continues to impress me with his minutes as well. I wish he was a better rebounder. Absolutely do. But also, once Duran gets back into the lineup, it's not his role is not the same with Duran in the lineup. Nobody's expecting Paul Reed to go out there and grab rebounds, but when Duran's missed, you kind of feel it a little bit more. It seemed like we could not get a rebound in
No,
the
we couldn't.
closing minutes of this game.
We could not. We could not. That's where Duran is missed, and that's where that
Absolutely.
that void or that question comes into play. Can we go out and find another big, preferably of that to kind of be there in those moments where you are missing Duran and Paul Reed does foul out? So you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Stu's out there hustling his butt off trying to get these boards, but a lot of times he's too small against some of these
Yeah, I mean,
other guys. So
six, like super tough, super strong. Love what Stu brings to the table, but nobody expects him to be, horsing the boards like that. Um,
he did finish with eight against Houston, but I mean,
mhm.
still there are just some timely ones that we missed, and like that one where Dylan Brooks got the putback. That was a huge one. We missed that box out assignment, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I
We
will say, and I know you're not going to co-sign this because I know this just isn't the type of guy you are, but I don't care. This game, especially towards the end, was called horribly. The So many missed fouls on the Rockets, and I just was very disappointed. I mean, Sangoon was literally hugging Isaiah Stewart under the rim on multiple possessions where they ended up getting an offensive rebound. So, you know, I hate that I have to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. There were some fouls missed at the end of this game for sure.
And I'm gonna say that the refs stayed consistent throughout the entire game because it was a physical game from start to finish for both teams. They missed a lot of calls for both teams, called a lot of stuff for both teams. They were consistent. We were just
Yeah,
on the wrong end of it.
I don't know. I guess I didn't get to see the first half of the game. I saw the second half, and I was a little confused on some of the things that were going on. But
It was
I
a
digress.
it was a good
It
old
that's
fashioned physical basketball game.
and I say that to say the refs didn't lose us this game.
Oh, not even close.
No, we
Not even
lost this
close.
game.
They
Couldn't
gave us the refs gave us opportunities to win this game.
a couple, yeah, for sure. I mean, there were clear fouls, but yeah, we just couldn't hit the freaking free throws.
Yep. Play the foul game. All right, so this upcoming week, Pistons have 4 games on deck. It's the start of the NBA Cup. So that'll be fun to see if we can get some wins and maybe play for this thing. That'd be a great thing to compete for. But we open up on Tuesday at home against Miami, and then we travel to Milwaukee the next night, and then Fridays against Toronto, and then Sunday, we finish up in Washington against the Wizards. I think we can win all 4 of those games, but more than likely, we'll probably go, I'd guess, 2-2.
I'm happy with 2-2. Um, I'm more happy if we beat one of or both of the Heat and the Bucks. The
I
Bucks
think
are
we'll beat one of
playing
them at least.
the Bucks do not look good right now. It's a game that we need to take advantage of the fact that they're not playing well, and we need to get out to a good start early, and we need to put them away. The Heat are, I hate when we play the Heat. It's always just such a wild card when, even back to when, like, the best five alive was playing. I hated playing the Heat. You just never knew what was going to happen in those games. Um, and the games that I'm a little bit worried about are Toronto and Wizards, because I think one of those games, both of those games we should win, and I just hope we don't get a stinker on one of those nights, because those are both games we need to win.
I'm gonna throw a fit if we lose to the Wizards. That's all I'm gonna say.
Same, same.
But yeah, that was our Pistons recap. We're gonna try to do this every week to give you guys some insight on what's been going on with the Pistons throughout the week, just in case you missed any games or anything like that. Jordan, you got anything else to add?
Nope.
All right. Until next time. Deuces.